Agency in Motion continuing education series brought to you by Millionaire Mindset Life. This is an ongoing education series for producers and agency builders in the financial services industry. What we're going to be discussing today is why incorporating a mission-based business model, or a large part of your business model being mission-based, is going to help you, your clients, your partners, and your overall pathway to what you're trying to achieve. Remember, wellness is a pie. Financial wellness is a piece of that pie. And if it's not good or it's missing in total, it can bleed over and have effects to the other parts of the wellness pie. So you need to understand that financial wellness is important. What you do is important. You're in the business of money. And yes, that is our business, but you also have to understand that money matters. And so when you're out there talking to the public and you typically get that knee-jerk reaction, which is, people fear money. They are not doing well with money. They lack financial literacy. They don't understand how money works. They weren't taught anything by the school system or their inner circle. You have to understand that all of that causes them not to want to talk about money, but money matters. So when you start getting behind the mission of what you can possibly do, you also have to understand that the other side of that, yes, you're in the business of money, but you're also in the business of people. And when you combine both of those aspects together and understand you're in the money business and you're in the people business, get behind the mission, really get obsessed with helping people, because once you understand what we do, why it matters, and how you're going to help the people that you come across, it's a lot easier to get motivated, because now you're not motivated from the self-interest. You're motivated by the prospect of being able to change the financial landscape of the people that you're helping. And once you understand that, it's just helping people help themselves. We can't help everybody. Some people don't want to be helped, but you're out there and you're doing business with people that want to help themselves and are wanting, able, and willing to do business with you. Help yourself first, then teach others. It has a ripple effect. People need you. People want you. Can they find you? Do you want to be found? Normally, salespeople, they're kind of secret agents. They don't want a lot of information online about themselves for one or more variable reasons. But when you get behind the mission, when you understand what you're doing and how to help people, you're a lot more available. You're a lot more aligned and engaged with that persona of who you're looking to help on a daily basis. And when you're in this business, you have the opportunity to help others. You have the opportunity to have fun and make money. You come from the mission-based perspective, it's a lot easier. And if you're in this business, you're not helping others, you're not having fun, you're not making money, there are issues that need to be resolved in order to free that up. Because once this is freed up, once you have a free-flowing pipeline of different people and different cycles of communication, and all of this is driven by the mission, it becomes very easy to do business. So you need to lead the way, and you need to start now. But really, what does that mean? What does leading the way mean? It means that you're out there actively getting the word out daily. You've got a mission and you're on that mission. And what is that mission? To get the word out. But what is the word? It's really how to get ahead. Well, what does that really mean? You're teaching people how to win. You're discovering how to win, teaching other people, and that has a huge positive ripple effect. So once again, if you're obsessed with helping people, you understand the mission of what you do, why it matters. And then you understand, hey, I'm going out there, not selling products, but I'm teaching people how to win, how to create desired end outcomes they actually want. Like I said, it's a lot easier to get motivated about your business on a day in, day out basis. Being a sucker is a choice. Being used by the financial system is a choice. On the other hand, it's also a choice to stop being a sucker, to break out of that and start to create a pathway that has you at the head of the table instead of the financial institution. So everything, our whole life is full of choices. Those choices mount up to create our realities, both now and in the future. So somebody can continue to be a sucker. That's not somebody that we're looking to help, because they're continuing on a pathway where they're going to go into an outcome they don't want, but they're unwilling to make the changes to create another pathway. So understand who you're dealing with and understand who you help, why you help them, and then incorporate that persona based around the mission. how do you see yourself? What's your vision? If you see yourself as a salesperson, as an insurance agent, as a financial service representative, you're going to be limited in your scope. If you actually see yourself as a coach, as a mentor, as someone that can actually help someone get what they want out of life. And remember that financial wellness piece of the pie, if that piece is really positive and it's overflowing with positivity, it's going to also bleed out into the rest of the wellness pie. So you need to grow yourself and then grow your business as a mentor. You need to rise to the moment of understanding that the people that you influence, you have a major impact. The American dream is still alive and well. The problem is it's not a straightforward path anymore. So when you look out there, you've got a situation where people have too much debt and not enough wealth. So part of the process and part of the mission is understanding how to remove those upfront obstacles, those burdens, give them a clear path. We call that debt to wealth. And that's a major part of the transition of helping somebody in that wellness journey. And also, once again, major part of the mission of what you're trying to do with people, because there's huge opportunity. And once you understand that, you have to look at, hey, how can I make the biggest impact? You know, we've got the resources, we've got the tools to create a life that you want for yourself, your clients, and partners. You just have to get motivated. And part of getting motivated is understanding the mission. And once again, getting behind the idea of helping people. Retirement, and there's a bunch of things that are changing in this new financial environment. So when I look, for example, at my retirement, looking down the road, I don't even consider Social Security as a part of my retirement pie because I don't think it's going to be there. So Social Security is going to have to change, including the payouts, the eligibility age. People are going to have to work longer. Once again, we are teaching people how to win, and that is under the understanding of retirement's not some age, not 65, it's not 67, it's a condition. And it's a financial condition. If you plan and prepare, you can retire much earlier. And like we talk about, so many people get to retirement age right before or right after, and they pass away, or they get in bad health, they can't enjoy it. So if we're starting to teach people how to create a retirement at an earlier age, they can enjoy more of their life. They can open up more doors, have more experiences, have a more fulfilled life. There are huge changes. You know, long-term care, something that we're probably most all going to need because we're not dying from these things that are happening. We're just, living through them. But long-term care right now is only government assistance available if you have low income through Medicaid. So all the rest of the people, we have to fend for ourselves. Taxes, like we've always been talking about and preaching, this is the first time in history going forward that your retirement tax rate will be higher than your working tax rate. So once again, changes, are on the horizon, but those challenges can equal opportunities. And once again, if you're teaching people how to, we can't change the storm. We can change the way we prepare for the storm. And once again, that's in the model of how do I win? And that's in the model of getting backed by the mission of helping people. One of the best ways that you can build your business through a mission-based perspective and business model is having a mindset where you're just curious. Asking questions is one of the greatest ways to get a conversation going. A conversation allows the other side to speak. That gives you information that uncovers a problem that you have a solution for. Now you can introduce the action step. But if you get in front of people pitching, selling, recruiting, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Be curious, ask questions. Some of those questions can be very, very simplistic. Hey, what are your biggest goals right now for this coming year, for 2023? What are your biggest goals, priorities? Secondarily, do you have a detailed plan on how to get there? Some people have no goals. Some people have vague goals. Some people have specific goals. Very few people have a detailed plan on how to get there. That's where you come in. Getting people to talk about past regrets. Everybody has past regrets. So an easy way to get people talking is, hey, if you could give yourself financial advice 10 years ago, around 2013, what would you tell yourself? Plenty of people are going to have answers for that. They're going to talk. So remember, getting people to talk is how you build a business. And if you're mission-based and understanding that you're trying to help people, just get them talking. Also looking into the future, where will you be in 5 years? These are all questions that either people have answers, they have an idea, or they have no idea at all. And then you need to be able to connect the dots. Remember, connecting the dots is not connecting the dots to a sale. That will happen naturally. But connecting the dots really means two things. Number one, helping people understand that you can't do anything about the regrets of the past, but you can make good choices today, so you limit and cut down on the number of regrets tomorrow. In the financial wellness piece of the wellness puzzle, that's where you come in. And then secondarily, you're just outlining. When you're connecting the dots, you're outlining. And outlining means you're understanding what somebody wants, either a pain point or a motivating factor, creating a checklist, and then helping them understand how to get what they want. You teach people how to win, you teach people how to get what they want, and your business will be booming. There's two main factors that you need to help the other side understand. And that's number one, they need to be aware of the possibilities. Then number two, they need to live their life with possibilities and potential. So like we just talked about, we can't do anything about the regrets of the past. We can do things right now that will limit the regrets of the future and create some type of desired end outcome. The cumulative effects of our little choices create our reality, both now and in the future. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Good choices or bad choices, they're going to compound over time. So when you get behind the idea of helping people, it's a lot easier to, kind of advise them, coach them, or just straight tell them, hey, you're making the wrong choices. This is what you need to do in order to get where you want to go. You can, being aggressive as a salesperson comes off, in an off-putting way, has negative connotations. However, when you're an advisor, coach, you're actually caring about people, they've recognized that, hey, this person wants to help me, they're part of my team, they're behind me. It's a lot easier to get aggressive and start telling people, stop waiting around, stop being reactive and just hoping things are going to work out. Start being proactive, go out and make them happen. Because we know, and what we're going to teach people is you can't sit on your hands and just wait and have a hope and a pray mentality. That's never going to get you where you want to go. There is a huge high cost of waiting. And what we do is help people understand through the education process how this affects them in a positive or negative way, depending on the decisions they make right here today. Discipline equals dollars. And once again, if you're coming off from the mindset and the business model and perspective of helping people from a mission-based, it becomes a lot easier to really drill people down and help them understand how discipline equals dollars, freedoms, and how the only impossible journey is the one they're never going to begin. So we can't help everybody. Quite frankly, we don't want to help everybody. We have a persona, but people have to understand that there's a commitment to be made. If we're going to show them the way, they have to commit to actually taking that way and having us lead them there. On the opposite side, guys, there is an extreme price to pay for no plan of action and execution. These are all the things that happen when you don't have a plan. So understand, you're not selling products, you're not selling services, you're creating forks in the road, you're creating different pathways. Do you want to continue down this path? Do you want to take a new path? The new path will get you here, the old path will get you there. It's your choice. Having no financial plan, not understanding the risk in the financial plan, breaking the rules of the plan for X, Y, or Z, the inability to act, react, or adjust, falling in love with mediocrity, failure to realize it's really up to you, failure to learn from your past mistakes, and no consistency is all things that we need to wrap up, because being an advisor, being a coach, almost being a financial therapist, you have to understand how to help people win and what's going to stand in their way and help them preemptively overcome some of these typical obstacles. Why does your organization do what it does? That's really what we've been talking about today. It's understanding the mission and understanding how to clearly, concisely, and articulately bring this out to the marketplace to help other people understand how you help others just like them. And that brings value to what you do, because now it's not about cost of product services. It's about the value of a relationship with you and what you can do for that individual or that family. It also allows us to operate from both sides, the emotion and the data part, because we understand we're in the money business. There's a lot of data-driven decisions from there. We're also in the people business. There's a lot of emotional decisions. being able to understand the difference between two and talk to other people about it so they can make more data-driven decisions, but also understanding why people are going to take action. And that's the emotional. It also allows you, when you're mission-based, to really go in, day out with intention and action. When just out there selling products and services to pay your mortgage, pay your car note, do whatever it is that you do, you're only going to bring so much intention and action. When you understand that, people are in a financial war right now for their financial future, you're, bring intention, bring action, and you're able to map out those targets and objectives. And when you're mission based, those targets or objectives are a little bit loftier than just those minimalized, self-serving ones. So our targets or objectives about how many people we can actually help. That brings it all the way back to someone just starting in a business like this. How do they approach, people they know, their inner circle, the relationships they have? Once again, if you teach a mission-based approach to the business, it's a lot easier, because it's a lot easier to tell people, everybody can explain what they do. Most people explain how they do it. Far fewer people can explain why they do it. And for our business, helping people, especially the warm market, understand why we do what we do, will open up the conversation, get people talking. And once again, that leads to general interest being converted into more specific interest, and that leads to clients. Outside of the warm market, you guys, mission-based works. It works in social media, it works in the common market, it works in the cold market. Once again, not pitching, selling, recruiting, but explaining to people how you help people just like them accomplish X, Y, or Z, whatever it is, the typical under the persona that you're going after. You're mapping out that persona and helping them understand, hey, I work with these type of people. This is what I do. I can help you. And that leads to the power of referrals. Once again, if you're asking for referrals based on just products and sales, then it's not going to happen very often. If you understand the mission of what we do, and then you establish and provide value, and that value is recognized, then you ask for the referral. Who else do you know and care about that needs to know this information? Being mission-based has a positive impact on so much of your business model, from the front-end marketing to the back-end referrals. If you get behind this, it will really change your business, because it allows you to look at your business and the marketplace look at your business from a new perspective. Not those typical product, price, place, promotion, solution, value, access, and information. It also allows you to build high-performance sales teams. People that are driven by the mission will get through the learning curve. They'll get through the build-up time. They'll get through that initial phase where most people quit. That will allow them to find the success they're looking for, because they came in for the right purpose, which is to help people. It also allows us to raise awareness, and raising awareness really means for our business. And when you look at the financial industry, a lot of what that means is, taking that bad information and replacing it with alternative, factual, good information. That will allow new decisions, that will allow new action steps, and that will allow new outcomes. Because the best way to correct the wrong information that most people have is to provide the right information. Open people's mind, open their eyes, and they will see an opportunity to get ahead, and the right people will take you up on that. Remember, it's not what somebody does for their paycheck. So, if somebody's making $5,000 versus $30,000 a month, it's not what they're doing for their paycheck. It's actually what somebody does with their paycheck. So many people think that they have to have, a certain job to get ahead, or a certain paycheck. It's really, how do you spend your money? Do you understand the value of your money, the meaning of your money, and how to put it to work for you? Because assets are going to create freedom. Remember, you don't live beyond your means, you expand beyond your means, and you use your money to accumulate assets, mostly cash flow assets that are going to pay you to hold them. Everything somebody wants in our business is a mathematical equation. Somebody ends up working, and it can't always be the potential client. We don't always get to choose when we stop working. Sometimes our health fails us. Sometimes there's other variable factors. Your assets absolutely have to end up working for you. So whenever you make an investment in yourself, you're making an investment into your future, and the future depends on what you do today. So once you understand, like we've been talking about today, the mission of what you're trying to do, how it's important, how it affects the outside people that you're coming across every day, it's a lot easier for you to get motivated about your business. And when you get motivated about your business, you get obsessed with helping people. It's a very lucrative industry to be in. If you want something, go get it, period. And that's our kind of that's what we're teaching people. That's our statement to anybody. If you want something, we can help map it out and get you there. But setting goals way far in the future, like, hey, I'm 40 years old today, I'm going to retire at 65, I don't have to worry about it for years to come. That's just allowing you to basically postpone, kick the can down the road, and that's not going to get you any results. Not if it can happen, but how will it happen, and what does it look like when it happens? That's your job as an advisor, as a coach, as a financial therapist, is to help people understand that this can happen and it will happen, how it's going to happen, and what does it look like when it actually happens. You as a agent, producer, agency builder, whatever it might be, whatever you're trying to do in this industry, you have to believe 100% in what you're doing, that in some picture or some small way that you're going to change these people's lives. And like I said, once you're able to digest that and you really believe in it, this business becomes pretty easy. So if you believe in something, bet big, bet your professional life, and work with the people who deserve your time, not just need your time. Agency in Motion, continuing series, building, operating, and managing agencies in the 21st century.